Low Country Wildlife is brought to you by 301 Processing and Taxidermy.
Hey folks, welcome to Low Country Wildlife. On today's show, we're over in Evergreen, South Carolina at the Evergreen Fox Pen. Our good buddy Dwight Allen, owner, asked LCW to come over and help judge his annual puppy hunt. It's going to be some good dog hunting action. You're not going to want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. LCW will be right back with some dog hunting action.
Low Country Wildlife is brought to you by 301 Processing and Taxidermy, Irby Street Sporting Goods, by Skeeter Performance Boats, Marshall's Marine, Southeastern Pathology, Palmetto Pulpwood and Timber Company, Black's Camp, Sparrow and Kennedy Tractor Company, and Maury Sportsman's Preserve. Additional products provided by the following:
Hey folks, welcome back. So today, like I said, we're over here at the Evergreen Fox Pen. They're having a puppy hunt this morning. And when we say puppy hunts, we just mean hounds that are 2 years old and younger. Dwight Allen has a scale he goes by, and his puppy's born this date, no later than this date. So it puts all the puppies together, about the same age group. And what they do is they dye numbers on the side of the dogs with regular old hair dye. So you'll see numbers on the dogs. They're not hurt. It's not a brand or anything like that. It's just a number. This pen is loaded with coyotes. I've actually helped Dwight catch some. Dwight's an avid trapper too. We've caught a lot of these coyotes in this pen. He has these field trials. It's all about the fellowship. It's all about having fun. LCW's going to judge. And the way it's going to work is when a coyote or fox crosses the road, we judge on the dogs. The first dog crosses the road, he gets a certain amount of points. The second dog, the third dog, all of them are on a point system. And what happens is at the end of the day, and you'll see Dwight come around and grab our scorecards during the day, they tally up all the scores. And the dog with the most points gets first place. The dog with the second points gets second, and so on and so on. So it's a great day. I got my good hunting partner with me, Mr. Hunter Atkinson, my son, junior pro staffer. I can't think of a better way to spend the day than in the bushes with my son. So we're going to get out here and score. He's got his own scorecard. So let's go see if we can get some crossings real quick. Yeah, I'm turning the pin right there. You go. It's a bad day to be a coyote. Dog going through right now. I don't see no game. That's another thing, you know, as a judge goes, you want to see the game cross the road. You want to see that coyote or fox go across the road and the dogs behind them. And you'd like for them to come in a single file line. That'd be the best way for them. But it don't always happen. So as a judge, you have to make the call. And what I normally do is if they come to the road all in a bunch, we just don't score that crossing. And when I say crossing is just where the animal crosses, the game crosses, and the dogs come behind him. That's a crossing. What you're trying to do is score them dogs in a consecutive order, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. But if they come all at one time together and you can't do that, you just don't score that crossing. You don't want to cheat nobody. You want to make sure that the first dog gets first place, second dog gets second place. So you'll see a lot of times dogs will be coming and going and running. We kind of wait to get where the coyote crosses the road or fox crosses the road and the dogs are right behind him and get a good, clean score. That'll put your best dog in first place today. It's a 4-hour hunt. We're just getting started good this morning. Everybody's got their belly full, and it's going to be a good day today. Good morning to run. Every day's a good morning to run now. You see, folks, I mean, you look at him, that dog's eating him up right there, and it don't bother him a bit. Them dogs, they aren't scared of him one bit. It's a big game to them dogs. A big game to the coyotes. You got your 30 right there. They just lollygagging around. I mean, that's what this whole thing's about. People just think this is terrible.
And you know how these dogs just walk like that through the cornfield?
Yeah.
Like walk into the cornfield, you can hear them making.
You can hear them coming.
When
Yeah.
they're coming out the woods and just walking slow.
Yeah.
Coyote don't make no noise.
No, coyote, he's a stealthy little animal now. He's slick, but you know, these coyotes aren't getting hurt in these pens. People think these pens are just terrible. They're not. I mean, these pen owners go to great lengths to take care of these animals. And they want these animals to be here, want people to enjoy them. They get fed. Dwight feeds them every day. They have all kind of safe houses to get in. If the dogs start putting too much pressure on them, they can dive in a safe house. When we put these coyotes in here, and a lot of people don't realize this, you don't just drive up and turn these coyotes loose in this pen. We take these coyotes, when we catch them, and shut this pen down for a few weeks, and we'll turn these coyotes loose in this pen, and you'll give them a week. Just let them roam, let them find the wire, let them find their safe houses, learn where they're eating at, learn where their water buckets are. And then we'll bring real young dogs in here and start running with real young dogs, something that won't put no pressure on them, let them run around and around, and they'll learn the paths and they'll learn where they're supposed to go. And then gradually we'll start putting more and more dogs on them, and eventually they can hold 20 head of grown dogs, and they can't hurt them coyotes. Them coyotes know everything there is to know about this pen. And then, just like you see, they don't care. They know it's a big game, and they'll just mess around and try to stay away from the dogs best they can. We're going to take a quick commercial break. LCW right back with some more hunting action here from the Evergreen Fox Pen in Evergreen, South Carolina. What dog's that? 79 eating him up. 79 and 0. Hunter, write them down. 79 and 0. You get them? Good deal. Folks, welcome back. So we stepped over here in the woods, and you heard me talk earlier about a safe house. I'm here with pen owner Dwight Allen. We walked in here to talk about this safe house. And Dwight, explain how this thing works. Now, you've got a bunch of these in the pen, right?
Yes, and this pen is about 170 acres, and probably is about 1 every 10 acres.
Right.
And we try to maintain them as best we can. We wrap them, tin like this so they don't rot, so the weather don't make it deteriorate. And this box is got an open end at each end of it.
Right.
And it's got about an 8 by 12 chute that goes up into the box. And when you get up into the box, there's plenty of room for them in the box to kind of move around, turn around.
Right.
And that. As many as I've seen, as many as 3 or 4 in here before. I mean, when they get in trouble, like that one right there a while ago, that come back here with that dog running, he could have been coming right here if we weren't standing here.
And that's what it is. When they get a little pressure on them, when the dogs get a little close for comfort, they can come here and duck in this box, and they can stay in here the rest of the hunt. They don't have to even come back out if they are tired or wore out. They don't want to mess with them.
They don't have to. Another thing these boxes do for me too is if they won't have little ones.
Right.
And that's something we don't talk about a lot, but in these pens you do have little coyotes from time to time. And the coyote will come in this box and have her little ones so no dog can bother.
Right.
If she does decide to go out and have a hole somewhere and having a hole, I don't know about that. But I have found over the years, I've found several litters, and they actually raise right in these boxes.
Well, and that's another thing people think about. Animals in captivity don't raise. They just don't raise. But in pens, they feel so comfortable in the wild. It's just like being in the wild with them. They'll raise little ones. I mean, we were talking the other day about the little ones you had running around the pen already,
You can, I've actually watched the litters raise all the way from little small ones all the way to adulthood.
Right.
And we'll do the same thing we do with these right here. When they get up to the point that we don't want to put a lot of pressure on them, we won't run the pen that hard then. You can actually, if you want to, when they get up small like that right there, you can move them to a safer place somewhere and raise them till they're grown. A lot of pen owners do that. A lot of times I don't get that opportunity because they get up so big, and when I find them, Mama moves them.
Right.
And then
she
she
gets
takes them
rid
to
of
another box or somewhere else. But by the time they get up to half grown, they're usually pretty good because you're getting at that time of year where the woods is growed up anyway. It's thick. You got fields growed up. They can survive better in the thick woods and the thick fields. And they can make it on up to adulthood because it's getting hot, the running slows down, and they have an opportunity to survive like that.
And look at the coat going right there. He just tiptoeing around.
But every pen you go to has these type, if they're not designed like this, there'll be a pipe.
Right.
They'll have something, plastic pipes, plastic barrels.
Anything they can get in, they can get their back to the wall, and they can keep them dogs at bay. Dogs can't mess with them in here.
Pen owners, and like I said, I know most all the pen owners in the state, they think a lot of their game, and I don't know of a pen that don't have somewhere for them to go.
Well, people think, everybody thinks, people that's never been involved in this, they think that you turning coyotes out and fox out, and you letting dogs pick them up. Just pick them up. And that just ain't the case. I mean, me and you've done this forever. I mean, it's all about the fellowship, bringing your kids out, watching some good running, and you just saw there was 15 head of dogs running that coyote, and he was tiptoeing through the bushes. He's not scared a bit.
You see those two little kids up yonder? They enjoy it, and I just enjoy it. I've been doing it now for 20 years.
Yep.
My first 20 years was outside running.
Yep.
And my second, with my son, and my second 20 years has been pen running with my grandson. That's how it's come to, you know, and I enjoy it.
And hopefully, if we do the right thing, they'll take it over one day.
They'll take it over as long as they're interested and want to do it, and I can do it. I'm gonna do this because we're not on the outside bothering nobody.
Right.
We're in an enclosure
and now you can't just. How do you put up? You can't just put up a fox pen anymore. I mean,
no,
there's rules behind it. I mean, DNR governs these things. It's not some half thought out process. I mean, you have to have. There's legal stuff you have to follow to put an enclosure up, right?
Back in 2002, I believe it was, they legalized the coyote.
Right.
Prior to then, it was all fox, and they legalized them in 2002. With that legalizing the coyote, they come about with a permit system.
Right.
And that permit system requires us every year to file our pen information on animals that we put in the pen. If we trap, and I do trap, me and you both trap.
Right. And we have to have paperwork for that.
Fill out paperwork on what I've trapped and what I put in the pens, and it has to match. DNR checks all that close, and if all that's done right, then they'll issue a permit for another year.
Right. Right there. See right here?
Yep.
Got it. One more in the book. You know, the thing about this judging this field trial is I've judged enough of them, and most of the judges, pen owners get judges that come in, they've done this before. And there's no art to it. You just have to, it's hard to do it if you're not familiar with the way dogs run. And a lot of times you have to use your own personal judgment when you're judging these hunts, because when a pile of dogs hit the road with a coyote, you have to be able to tell which dogs are actually running that. My rule of thumb is if a coyote crosses the road, if a dog runs it up to the road and he stops it, I don't usually score him. I wait for him to cross the road on it. I know for a fact when he crosses the road on it, that dog had him. I don't score dogs that come down the road and picked it up in the road and took it. Even if other dogs fall in and go behind the front dog, I wait on the dog that was actually running to start my scoring back up. And it's just all a judgment call. But, you know, you want to be fair, and you want the best dog to win the hunt. And it's all up to your personal discretion on how you judge. But, you know, everybody judges honestly. It don't matter. It's just a fun day out with the family, getting to hear some good dogs run. And that's what it's all about. And that's the LCW style. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to head up to the clubhouse here at the Evergreen Fox Pen and see what dog came out on top. So don't go anywhere. LCW will be right back.
This segment of Low Country Wildlife is brought to you by Skeeter Performance Fishing Boats.
First thing I want to do is I want to thank the judges that's still here. A lot of the judges has already left. But that's what they do for me. They come in to judge, and they can go on and spend the rest of their day doing whatever they want to do. So, but there's still a few of them still sitting around, and for the judges that's still here, give them a big hand. My scorekeeper and my cook over here, give her a big hand too. She's one who cooked the breakfast and kept the scores up for us. And all you guys, I appreciate you coming and having some fun and fellowship with us today. And it's the end of this series. The next series will be starting in July. starting July the 14th for after July puppies. I would like all of y'all that placed in the top 25 today, as well as the first 2 hunts, to come back to the championship in 2 weeks. I got this point system going, and we're going to find us a points champion, we're going to find us a hunt champion, we're going to find us a hunting champion. So, you know, everybody's got a top 25 dog in 2 weeks is eligible. In 2 weeks' time, I'll have more dog feed and more awards for you. So come back and let's try it. And I hope in that time, I'll talk with you before then. We might go 5 hours, weather permitting. If it's real hot, we might go 4, but I'll leave it up to, we'll see what the weather's like in 2 weeks. Every hunt I usually say the top 3 was obvious. It was between them dogs all morning, but today I couldn't say that. I couldn't see as much as I normally see with the fields growed up either. So it's kind of like coming here and see what the computer says. I didn't have any idea myself which of these dogs was going to place. But these right here are the 3 dogs for today. The 3rd place dog had 545 points. Dog 14, Glenn McConnell. Top 2nd place dog, 550 points. Dog 04, Timmy Langston. Bring it out here. Set it down. Set it down. As I always say at the end of every hunt, I wish I could give everybody one of these, but I can't. It's always a situation where one dog's going to win it today, and you go win this big trophy. Hope you like the trophy. They're nice trophies. They're basically a piece of furniture, and most of you like these great big trophies, but I can't give it to one dog today. The dog that won the hunt today, I usually like to ask, who do y'all think? But you're not going to have any idea, I don't think, today, looking at the fields growing up. I will say this much, come next championship hunt, I'll have a judge right there. Them coats have started running that cornfield pretty good there now, down that, making it a hedgerow. And I know there's a lot of crossings right there. We'll get a judge on that at the championship hunt, okay? As long as the fields is growed up, we'll have somebody here covering that for you. And I always try to end every hunt with, if you got any suggestions or anything we can do different or do better, let me know. We're all about having fun and fellowship and having a good time and finding the best dog we can find in this 4-hour period. Okay? My father died back in August of 2010, and he was at every hunt as a fixture. And he used to tell me all my life, 40 years messing with dogs, the same 2 things. Think you got a good dog? Go run with someone else. You'll find out what you got. And number 2, son, if you ever go and run with somebody and they outrun you, you'll be a good sport about it. You go congratulate them, say, I'll get you next time. He raised me in that way. And I always close every hunt in his memory because he's gone now. He hunted his whole life, and he's left it to me now, and one day will be left to these younger kids. So just always remember those 2 things when you run dogs. Congratulate the man that wins, because it could be your turn next time. Dog today that won the hunt had 590 points. 5 first, and didn't dominate. He just did what he had to do. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. He had 5 firsts, 6 seconds, 3 thirds, 5 fourths are running alones, and 4 pack scores for a total of 590. And our winner today, that wins the hunt today. Now, when I tell you this, y'all are going to mill around, but let me get over here and post this for y'all to see the rest of the results. And I appreciate you coming, and I had a good time, enjoyed it, and I hope to see y'all again. The winning hound today had 590 points. That hound is hound number 62, C.G. Williamson.
All right, C.G.
I have one last thing I want to do too, right before everybody gets going. My wife wanted to do something right quick like for us here. Pastor Raymond, where's Pastor Raymond at? Pastor Raymond right here behind you.
This is something that Dwight and I wanted to present to the church from the hunt this morning. We wanted to
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank y'all.
That was a building fund donation from this morning to our church. With Pastor here. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to post this for you over here, okay?
Folks, I hope you'd enjoyed today's show. We had a blast out here at the Evergreen Fox Preserve. And Dwight, thank you very much for having us out, man.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
People can contact you, 843-621-2000, right?
Right.
And you don't have to be a dog hunter, right? If you want to come out here, just get up with you.
That's true.
And see what it's all about, right?
No, you don't have to. I'd like for people to come and see what we do. First-hand knowledge of what we're doing is the best way to learn anyway, not from what you hear. Come out here. One of our hunts is the second Saturday every month. You know, he just give you my number if you want to know what a fox pen and a coyote preserve is all about. Come check it out. Some of these children here today, they didn't have a dog in the hunt, but we made sure they got a trophy and they got in the show.
And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about, having these kids involved and the ladies. And like I said, it's a good family type atmosphere that we just enjoy doing.
Well, we've had a great time. Folks, you can get all this information online, www.lowcountrywildlife.com. Always check us out at Team Low Country Wildlife on Facebook. We'll be back on the water in the bushes next week doing it LCW style.